Good morning. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm Hannes. I'm the founder of Future Demand, a German software company helping arts organizations to do better marketing and understand why people are coming to your concerts and why they are perhaps not coming and how to convince them to come more often. The most critical and challenging thing at the moment is that, and that's not a good number for marketing team members. I'm sorry to kind of be not in a good mood or don't bring a good mood, but only 1.5% of the ads you kind of come across each day are actually ones you actually see. The majority of kind of ads, just you gloss over them, you don't recognize them. And that's obviously true for all your potential audience members as well. The main cause why that is the case is that a lack of personalization. If it's not relevant to you, you just ignore it, and your kind of brain ignores it automatically. So we need to be more engaged in kind of targeting and personalizing. I'm sorry. Personalizing these ads for your audiences. But obviously, you can't just say, then run more personalized ads because it's a lot of time. And usually, your marketing team is already kind of strapped with time and usually not overstaffed. At least this is what I kind of come across. So the solution is to apply a completely new understanding of customer segmentation, not based on social demographics and age, gender, place of living, household income, family status, those kind of things, but something which Netflix pioneered based on actual interest. We developed something which is called taste clusters. The idea behind taste clusters is that these machine learning AI algorithms identify why somebody is interested and segment audiences based on that. So technically speaking, they segment the interest of customers, not the customers themselves. This makes it possible to automatically know they are coming for the soloist, they are coming for the conductor, they are coming for that particular piece on the program. And then personalized all ads and email marketing campaigns to that specific interest. This is only possible because our platform pulls data from around 100 external data sources, be it Spotify, be it Wikipedia, being it music-related data sources, and describes each concert automatically with around 1,000 characteristics. The idea behind this is that in the first place, we need to understand what could be relevant for audience members, not only how we can describe the concert with our traditional understanding, but perhaps it's that they are coming to the concert, but not if a ball game is on at the same time in your local city. Or how is parking at that time? How is commuting into the city perhaps at that time? All of those things are relevant for your audience to make the decision to buy a ticket and come to your concerts. And this is something we fully automated. So there's no kind of manual annotation or tagging your concerts or your customers. You don't need to kind of label, they are the Baroque lovers or something like that. This is completely automated. But we need to have all of those data sources available. And that's the reason why we have integration with so many different external data providers. If you bring that together, so that new and truly new understanding of customer segmentation based on actual interest, as Netflix does it, we copied them. Yeah, we just copied them because they're so good at that. We just copied them. And if you bring that together, you can run many applications which help your marketing team members and your planning staff to be more efficient and much faster. With Lookout, we can automate the demand prediction side. So Lookout gives you predictions for how many tickets are going to be sold for each concert years in advance with an accuracy level of above 90%. It helps you plan better, make a decision where to spend more on marketing and where not, where's more potential in the local market, where not. This is trained on around 300,000 past events from data coming from the States and Central Europe. With Wave, you can launch social media campaigns on Meta's platforms in just a couple of minutes, and they will outperform anything your marketing team or your external agency has done in the past. We'll come into that in a second. I can show some case studies at the end, how they achieve it. The idea is, again, if you understand you're coming for that young soloist, then you get a message about the young soloist, and we target everyone who's interested in those young soloists, not who are interested in Bach, Beethoven, or whatever composer you have on the program. Backhaul is the application of our taste cluster technology, these interest-based segments, on your existing customer base. So instead of spending hours and hours, I'm so sorry for this. Instead of spending hours and hours in your CRM system to try to understand, did they come because of Wagner, or did they come in spite of Wagner in your last concert? You don't know that by looking at the data usually. And now I kind of lost. So you don't know what the reason was. Okay, this. So I can do that without the slides as well. So instead of guessing why they came and trying to kind of, based on that guess, build customer segments, you provide the data, only the input, which concert are you trying to sell, or which subscription you're trying to sell. And our algorithms identify who is interested in that particular programming, in that particular soloist, or whatever the reason it could be that they come. And they give you the customer segments broken up into these taste clusters so you can adjust the subject line, for instance, for that particular campaign. Thank you. And the last application, Sentinel, is you're probably all kind of familiar with that, that you know how you want to segment, then you go to your CRM or a ticketing system, and you spend a lot of time in finding the right kind of fields to kind of segment and filter and stuff like that. Imagine now you can just tell the system what you want. Give me all lab subscribers from the last 2 years who visited at least twice in the last year, bought non-reduced tickets, and only came when a young soloist was performing as well. Try to do that in your CRM system. You probably kind of, whoever is having to do that in your organization will hate you for that question. With Sentinel, you type that question in natural language. Just how I told you now. Click enter, and 30 to 50 seconds later, you have your customer segment. You can push that segment into your email marketing suite and run the campaign. If you want to kind of understand how many tickets you sold in the last year, you can ask that question as well. If you want to know and identify which past concerts performed had the highest share of discounted tickets, you can ask that question. All of that is automated, so you don't spend that much time in these systems. You use your data, but you don't have to kind of spend that much time. Why is it kind of working like that? Why is it so much more efficient? At the core is that we try to understand what are the things software can do today better. Where are the parts where algorithms can outperform a human? And there are a lot of kind of areas where that's not the case yet. So we try to separate those tasks. And there are things we can automate today. So the targeting part, who should actually get messages about or these ads, this is something we can automate. And software will be kind of better in that than individual humans traditionally, especially with the time limits you have on these tasks. With co-create, a function for us, you can create copy for these ads in hundreds of variants with one click. It's tailored to your organization based on your most successful ads in the past and uses your tone of voice. So it's not just any model, it's kind of fine-tuned for you. Your marketing, whoever kind of opened Ads Manager on Meta, Facebook Ads Manager, anyone kind of used that before? Whoever liked that experience? Okay, you don't have to open Ads Manager anymore. You can ignore forget your credentials. It will set up the campaign in your ad account, fully automated, so you don't have to open it anymore, in seconds. With smart asset testing, for each campaign, we test up to 250 ads against each other and decide every single day which version of those ads works best and which don't perform well, and those will be deactivated automatically. So we optimize your campaigns on a regular basis, on a daily basis, and if they perform well, they are kept active. And in the case where a campaign really does not perform well, the software will automatically deactivate the campaign and save your budget. You get a notification, you still can activate it again, but you don't have to kind of look at that every single or second day and think, should I do something or not? It's completely automated. Does it work? We have 120 teams today, over 120 teams today using our platform from a very wide variety of companies, from small festivals and small organizations, music clubs, but also kind of huge and large orchestras, opera houses throughout 10 countries. It's not only cultural organizations or orchestras, it's also live entertainment, it's also travel. Even BMW just signed on. So there's a kind of wide range. But our background and my background is in orchestra and cultural organizations and performing arts, and that's where our passion is for. How well does it work? We see that our clients report back that they save 80% of the time in campaign management, especially with meta campaigns. We also see that in comparison to what they have achieved before, the return on ad spend is usually double what they had before. And we see that the prediction is, as I already shared, very accurate, helping you make better planning decisions. And you can iterate and tweak and see what works best. And on the email marketing side, we see that the open click and conversion rates are usually 30 to 50% higher than what the organizations achieved before, due to the fact that those messages and these marketing initiatives are more tailored and more personalized to your audience members. And that's, in the end, we'll kind of not 1.5% of the ads are seen, but more. Yeah. On average, the engagement rate, so how many people see an ad and click on it, is 5 times higher than what the organizations had before. I want to share 2 examples. One from a North American orchestra. The responsible marketing team members already here in the audience. It's from National Arts Center in Canada. And what they did, they used Wave for their campaigns, and they achieved 2 times higher click-to-reach, so conversion. They have 4.8 more clicks on the same budget, so the CPC, the cost per click, decreased dramatically. And overall, they had a 45% higher return on ad spend on their campaigns. So for the same budget, they achieved much, much more impact on the campaigns. And I hope that it was kind of from everything I know, it was also kind of a time-saving aspect, and they kind of enjoyed using the platform because it's very easy to use. Another case study, another example is Lucerne Festival, running around 24 to 30 symphony concerts for different orchestras, including many North American orchestras each year. And they kind of use our live professional tier with data integration with the whole four applications, and they achieved an average return on ad spend over the last 12 months of 1,600%, meaning they invested $1 in a campaign and they got $16 back in incremental revenue. Single ticket sales for the events or the concerts where they run campaigns increased by 31% on average. That's the average for the last 28 campaigns in the last 12 months. And in total, they reached 6.9 million impressions with a kind of very limited budget in the end. Yeah, so in comparison to US marketing budgets on orchestras, that's kind of a fraction of what you usually invest. We have other kind of North American clients like San Francisco Opera as well, where they kind of see similar stories and similar experiences. If that sounds interesting and you want to kind of engage in a conversation how our platform could help your marketing team members to be more efficient and achieve an even bigger impact and get more people through the door and signing on to more ticket sales, we'll have a booth in front of outside here. I'm happy to talk and also kind of take questions now if you have any questions. Yes? Sorry.
Do you do pay-per-click like Google Ads campaign?
No, so you don't pay us for the marketing initiative. It runs in your ad account, so you define whatever kind of campaign objective you have, and our platform just makes sure that the campaign is set up ideally and optimized on a regular basis, but the ad spend is going directly to Meta and uses. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's true. You pay us also a little bit, but very good. Thank you for that. It's a subscription-based model. So it's based on the total capacity or the ad spend, depending on which subscription tier you choose, based on what kind of functionality you want to have. And it's either on a quarterly or a yearly contract length, which typical SaaS model.
How do you integrate with existing CRM systems?
So there's one condition. We need to have the ability to access the data. And if that's be CSV files, we have to grab someplace, or it's sent to us, or if there's an API, it doesn't matter. We build a custom data pipeline for you for free. Yes?
Can you tell us about your data gathering? How are you able to do that? You mentioned companies like Spotify. How can you get your hands on that data and other companies? Is that not sensitive? And then secondly, when you're putting together a plan to a client, can you focus on a particular city or a particular region? Or are your principles more widespread, global, if you like?
So the data collection, we use public APIs. Spotify has public APIs for some of the data. Obviously, I don't know from Spotify, I don't know what all of you are listening. That's not data Spotify shares. That would be kind of difficult on we come from Europe and Germany, so data protection is like our second nature, I would say. So that would not be something possible, but they have a public API where we can know how often certain kind of songs or kind of tracks and things are listened to, for instance, or how many followers a specific artist or an orchestra has. These kind of statistics we can get there. But we also have proprietary data sources where we, for the 1,000 most played classical music pieces, have musicologists kind of build additional kind of labels for those pieces, and these are kind of continuously engaged, and we'll have kind of team members kind of making sure of that. And regarding the geo-targeting, there are different options how you can define geo-targeting. We even have kind of machine learning models doing that for you automatically based on your past transactional data, but also based on traditional kind of patterns, how long are people willing to travel to come to your concert, and that depends on what kind of concert it is. But you also can define it based on postcodes or based on regions and a distance or something like that. Yes?
How is all of this data collected without being invasive to the website?
It didn't understand the last. Invasive to whom?
How is the data collected in a way that's not invasive to users, but invading their?
So every data collection we do is with the goal to anonymize the data as quickly as possible. Because due to the data protection regulation in Europe, we are not allowed to train any AI models on personalized data. So the first step is, if we integrate with your ticketing system, the first step what our platform does is to actually anonymize the data, and then only is tracked. So the whole point of our taste cluster technology, for instance, is that it sounds very rude, I'm sorry for that, but we don't care about the individual patron. We care about patterns driving overall demand. So a taste cluster does not contain any personalized data, but it contains information about a subset of users or patrons who follow similar patterns. And the idea is not to kind of look at any individual and try to kind of model their behavior, because it will always be not reliable enough. Individual is kind of very, but if we do it on a kind of aggregated big scale, we can identify bigger pictures, and those are then kind of used to kind of drive these initiatives. So I think it's a much more data preserving methodology than traditional kind of methods. And it doesn't rely on lookalike audiences, for instance, or retargeting, if that's something of interest. You can use them, but you don't need to. Then, thank you so much. It was a pleasure, and have a wonderful conference. Thank you.